One day, to Paddington's surprise, he arrived downstairs for tea, only to find the Browns were holding a party in his honour. All the family were there, Mrs. Bird, Mr. Curry, and Mr. Gruber. "I've brought you a book on paper tearing, Mr. Brown. I thought you might be able to entertain us."
"I like paper tearing tricks. I hope they're good."
Paddington hurried over to the table in order to consult his new book. "The first one, Mr. Curry," he said, "is called The Mystery of the Disappearing Banknote." "I'm afraid I've left my wallet in my other jacket," said Mr. Brown. "And I only have silver," said Mr. Gruber. "I think it's up to you, Mr. Curry."
"All right, but I hope you know what you're doing, Bear."
"Oh, yes, Mr. Curry," announced Paddington. "Mr. Gruber's book has even got pictures showing you how to do it." Now, I take the note, and I fold it in two, and then I fold it in two again, then I tear bits out of it. Oh, dear. His face dropped as he consulted his book. Then I put it under my hat.
"What are you doing now, Bear?"
growled Mr. Curry. Oh, dear, I'm afraid something's gone wrong, Mr. Curry. The banknote was supposed to turn up inside your ear." "Have you tried looking in the other one, dear?" asked Mrs. Brown. "I think I turned over 2 pages at once," said Paddington. "I've done the paper doily trick by mistake."
"What?" bellowed Mr. Curry. "Doily? That's my pound note. It's full of holes."
"Don't worry, Paddington. I'll pay. It won't have to come out of your bun money. Anyway, we have a surprise for you. We've had a cable from the Home for Retired Bears in Lima. It seems your Aunt Lucy is celebrating her 100th birthday soon, Mr. Brown." "Fancy being 100, exclaimed Jonathan. "Bears' years are different," said Judy. "They have 2 birthdays a year for a start."
"Anyway, we wondered if you'd like to be there."
Paddington sat down in order to consider the matter. His mind was in such a whirl. "I don't know what to say," he murmured. "I shouldn't say anything," said Mrs. Bird. "Have a piece of cake instead. I made it specially. It's got Bon Voyage written on it. That means we hope you have a good journey." "Thank you very much, everybody," said Paddington. "But if I'm going back to Peru, I think perhaps I'd better go upstairs and pack." "Don't be long," called Judy. "Your cocoa will get cold."
"It'll seem very quiet without you, Bear," called Mr. Curry. "I don't know who'll do my odd jobs for me."
"Oh, dear," said Mrs. Brown.
"Oh, well, no more marmalade stains on the walls."
"I shall leave them on. I'm not having them washed off for anyone." "Crumbs," cried Judy. "Here he comes again. That was quick." "I've packed my things," announced Paddington, "but I've left my flannel out in case I need a wash before I leave." "You've packed?" repeated Mrs. Bird. "But what about all the stuff in your room?" "I'm only taking my important things," said Paddington. "I shall leave everything else upstairs for safety." Mr. and Mrs. Brown exchanged glances. "Paddington," said Mrs. Bird, "you'll never know how happy you've made us feel. We thought perhaps you were leaving us for good." "For good?" exclaimed Paddington. He collapsed into a nearby armchair at the thought. "That wouldn't be for good, Mrs. Bird. That would be for bad." "One thing," said Mr. Gruber. "You'll be able to wash Mr. Brown's stains off after all. He can start afresh when he gets back." "I think that's a very good idea, Mr. Gruber," said Paddington. "If I'm going all the way to South America, I expect I shall pick up some very interesting new ones, especially in darkest Peru. I can't wait to bring them back."